everyone. Welcome, guys. Welcome. As you guys know, on Thursdays, we go over mindset, trend following, and trading systems. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. All right. 1 second here. Hey, Sedona. Welcome. Hey, Peter. Welcome, Peter. Welcome. Welcome, guys. All right. All right. I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So you guys should see my screen here. Welcome, guys. Welcome. All right. All right. Hey, Stella. Welcome, Stella. Welcome. Welcome. All right, guys. We'll get started this evening with a move that we're looking at in the dollar. All right. So again, as we go through these markets, we want to focus on mindset. All right. Hey, Betty. Welcome, Betty. Welcome. Mindset. All right. Trend following and using our trading systems. All right. All right. And you guys can send me any symbols you guys are looking at, any trades you guys are looking at. Just send those, put those in the chat. Those of you in the studio, you guys can just call it out, and we'll analyze those for you guys. Okay, so let's start here with the dollar. I sent out a message earlier that we've got buy signals. We're going to put, and I talked about this last year, we're going to really try to put Forex Dominator to work. All right, I think for the last few years, I think we've missed, we've put a lot of focus on Monster Scalper and not enough focus on Forex Dominator, okay, which is this system here, right here. All right, Forex Dominator. I think that this is a great system, and we traded on a longer time frame. We've brought the time frame down for a weekly, from a weekly to a daily. All right, so that should give us more opportunities, right, and not have to wait really long to get out of positions. Okay, so we're gonna put it to work. We got buy signals that came in today. All right, on the dollar ZAR, here it is right here, buy signal right here. All right, on the dollar ZAR, and also on the USD NOK. All right, here it is right here, USD NOK buy signal right here. Also, we have another trade setting up in the euro ZAR. So the ZAR is trying to make a move. All right, so the EUR ZAR, right, that's got a buy signal here and is moving higher. Okay, so what we are seeing here, in particular the dollar pairs, if we look here, right, this is the dollar. And those of you who've been here for a while with us, right? You guys remember we traded the dollar. We did really well with the dollar. All right, here's the dollar here on the monthly time frame, and we captured almost all of this move here on the I'm sorry, this move here, right? This move here on the dollar. We caught this green candle here on the monthly, and we rode the dollar all the way up. All right. So it looks like, guys, it looks like it is trying to recapture resistance right here. Here was the buy signal right here, right? We were concerned that it would get below, right? Get back below resistance and perhaps continue down to test support. But right now it's holding, right? It pulled back, it's holding above resistance. And based on the price action we're seeing, right, we could see the dollar move higher. So that is encouraging. All right. That is very, very encouraging. All right. So I want to talk about what is the moves that are setting up. We know equities are setting up. All right. So we know that we've got a trend going in the equity markets. Even if we get days that are down, don't worry about that. Right. That's just noise. If things change, we'll know. All right. But that's just noise for now. Hey, Dean, welcome. Dean, welcome. All right. So who is anyone in the dollar pairs in Monster Scalper? Anyone in the dollar pairs in Monster Scalper? Anyone in the dollar pairs in Monster Scalper?
Hi, David. Yes, I'm in the dollar pair.
Okay. Hey, Dean, which pairs are you in? Which dollar pairs are you in?
I'm in actually USD NOI NOK and USD.
USD NOK.
Yes, and
Okay.
then
In Monster
USD
Scalper.
ZAR.
That's in Monster Scalper.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. Any other pairs?
and USD ZAR. No,
USD ZAR. Okay. Dollars are. Okay. Good. Hey, Bruce. Welcome, Bruce. All right. Any others?
and then one final one was GBP. I guess that's the British against SGD,
So
and I needed
that's
some
short,
advice
right?
on that.
That's short.
Long
GBP
SGD.
SGD.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's take a
I
look
have a
at.
lot of noise here, so I'm gonna go on mute.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Dean. Thanks. All right. We want to spend some time on the dollar pairs. All right. So dollars are. All right. Very choppy. NOK. Now we send out a message on NOK. Dean, where did you and you Dean, you can you can post in the chat too. Where was your buy signal, Dean, on USD NOK? Where was your buy signal on that? USD, because it came in here. Did you get in? Here was the buy signal here, break up this resistance. We talked about it held here. This would have been an area to get out, get back in here. All right, nice trade here. Nice trade. All right. Now we saw a buy signal came in. A buy signal came in on in
I think it was
Forex Dominator. Okay. Go ahead, Dean.
1029, I believe.
What was it? $10.29. It's at 10.29.
1028, yeah.
10.28. So right here, right about here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good job. Good job, Dean. Good job. Good job. Good job. And you held it on this pullback here, and you're still holding it?
Yeah, they didn't give me any indicator to release, to do anything. So I'm just watching it.
Okay, good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Very good. Very good. And then pound. You're long. You're not long this. Are you long this? Pound SGD. Hey Solomon, welcome.
That one I bought on the 60-minute.
On the 60. Okay, let's take a look. All right. Okay. I didn't know there was a
The
trade on 60, but looks good.
the other two I bought on the 240, but this one and I didn't realize I was on the 60, and I saw the buy signal, and I had taken.
Oh, okay. All right. Not a bad trade, right? Nice markdown phase, right? Big candle came in right here. Big candle. That's what we want to see. Big buyers come in here. All right. Big candle buy signal came in right here on break up that resistance. All right. Now resistance will become support. All right. So if it breaks resistance here, you get a sell signal. All right. But it's holding. I thought though we were short. We were short the
Yeah, you were short. We were short a couple of days before that. Yeah.
yeah, we were short. And that doesn't mean you can't get, that might be a counter trend trade there.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I had an alert on that for some. I think I had traded it earlier, and I had an alert. So when it broke um, that signal, I was like, "Oh man, it did a turnaround." But I was on the 60 for some reason.
I would say if you get a white candle on that, get out. Yeah. So if
Okay.
you're on the 60, you get a white candle, get out because I'm just going to double check here, but I think the overall trend is short. Okay. All right. So here is the 240. All right. Here it is right here on the 240. So if you get a white candle, all right. If you start to get a white candle,
Yeah, I did see that the overall trend.
yeah. Yeah. So right now you're going against the overall trend, right? So here is your 60 on the left. All right. And you said you didn't mean to take this trade.
No, well, I took the trade thing, but I didn't realize I was on the 60-minute
Okay. When that
because I was mainly
happens,
staying at 240. So
okay.
I when I got in, I got in. I said, you know what, I'm gonna let it run and stay on the
All right.
60 with this one.
All right. When that happens, and that will happen from time to time, right? When we trade in, especially when we're new to the system, right? Especially when we're new to trading, right? And then I know you've been trading for a while, but especially for new traders, when you get in a trade, and you either didn't mean to get into the trade or like did here a wrong time frame, just get out, right? Just get out. Um, because it wasn't supposed to be a trade, right? So it wasn't you weren't supposed to trade it. So when that happens, just get out. Um, and what that does is just it just helps you have that discipline. This trade could turn out to a great trade, right? Green candles could come in here on the 240, right? That 60-minute could push up, right? And you could do well in this trade, but it's not about that, right? It's about following your process. So if you get into a position where and a lot of times what happens is yeah, we get into a trade we weren't supposed to, or we get out of a trade that we weren't supposed, we just want to clean things up. All right.
Dave,
Um, Go ahead.
if I didn't watch the other video the other night, I would have gotten out. But it's a
Uh-huh.
triple T. I took the trade. I took the trade. I took it.
Okay. All right.
I was like, I'm in already, and so I went with it.
All right. Just take the trade, right? All right. All right. And we've got Peter here too. Peter is on here. All right. Welcome, Peter. All right.
Thank you
So
so much.
you're welcome, buddy. Welcome. If you guys have any questions for Peter, okay, he's on here this evening. All right. So and Peter is always open to share his wealth of knowledge. All right. So We don't get this guy here a lot, right? So when he comes on here, so if you guys want, just ask him. You can ask him about his gold trade, right? He did an amazing job on that trade. I'm not surprised. Peter is a really, really good trader. All right. So, um, any questions, right?
Yeah,
If stop me, right? This is for you guys, right? So,
I
David,
I
could
have
yeah,
a
you
question.
take a look at the dollar index, DXY? Just want to give
guys,
you a
on the
perspective.
dollar index.
Yeah, DXY, since we're talking
Okay.
about the dollar.
And then I do have a question for Peter. I mean, I understand that he's doing this full time, and not that I'm gonna do it like today, but I think that's a great achievement, and testament to your success. You know, so but what led you to? At what point did you say, you know what, I'm good. I'm gonna make this my primary source of income? What made you get to that point, and how long did it take for you to take that leap?
Uh, what's your name? Sorry, I don't know your name.
Peter, that's Dean.
Oh, Dean.
Yeah.
I love trading. So you gotta love what you do. So, um, as practically, when I got the money for trading, so that's when I went full time. Um, I was working. I think I was working and trading in 2022. So I quit my job like in January, and so prior to that I was using David's system. I was just doing stocks. I was working during COVID. I was working at home, so that was make trading and um, working a full time job easier. Um, I was having a bit of success with stock trading, so that allowed me to just continue it full time. Right now, I trade less my own money and more for a prop firm. And there's a lot of prop firms now that offer evaluations. And then once you pass their evaluations, they give you money to manage. So there's a lot of opportunities. You can text David or me, and I can give you some prop firms to consider if you whenever you want to work full time and not risk your own money. So that's kind of how I want to do it. I say that day trading is a lot harder than David's system. David's system allows you to make a lot more mistakes. All you have to do is press a button and sit and wait. But day trading is a lot of issues with executing. And I'm realizing I still make a lot of mistakes and I lose money in executing. So it's been a year of making still a lot of mistakes day trading.
That's great, great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well,
um, Peter, um, great trader, just amazing trader. Now, Peter make it seems like it's right. He didn't do a lot of work. He's put in a lot of work, right? When we talk to traders, right, they'll give you their story in like 10, 15 seconds, right? I did this, but Peter knows his journey has been very, very long. All right, and I've just seen some of his progress. All right.
mhm.
um, what Peter did and what a lot of our traders will do is they will disappear. All right. If you guys notice, Peter just came on. He asked for the to see the dollar index.
Yeah.
All right. So
I
we'll
when I just want to say this, I taken some huge swings. Like I try to swing for the home run
yeah.
during the Russia war in Ukraine. I had a huge short. I was gonna make hundreds of $1,000s, and it didn't work out. so so as a trader, you just have to take those swings and get back on the horse if you fail. So
Was that with the IWM, Peter?
that's my, yeah, the
Yeah,
IWN, yeah.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
and that's when I had
But
a
that's
whole bunch
all.
of money, and then I was gonna turn into almost like close to $1 million, but it didn't work out as the way I planned. So that's
Yeah,
when I started transitioning to work for a prop firm. Take
But that's all about the mindset, really, right? I mean, you can make those decisions and calculations, but once you're in it, you don't give up, and you don't, if you know what you're doing, And I'm not saying that that's why we're all here because
Yeah,
I don't know
right.
what I'm doing, you
It's
but
like when you make like a couple $100, couple $1,000,
yeah,
those are, if you stick to your plan, stick with trend trading, you'll do well. Eventually but like when you swing those huge home runs, they take a lot of planning. So I plan and watch the chart for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And then when the signal tells you to get in, then you get in. So um, trend trading is excellent, you know, is a good way to get those home runs. So just jump in, take a small position, just practice trying to, catch that trend. It's the easiest, yeah. And then once you make money from trend, then if you want to do it full time, you want to do day trading, yeah, go for it. If you like doing it, if you like the game, go
I
for it.
love it, love it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love it. Thank you.
yeah,
yeah, Peter. This was Peter's trade here. Peter, you remember? Let me bring in the dates.
yeah,
And I think um, I know, Peter. You might agree or disagree, but I think this might have been your turning point because we were all rooting for Peter. I know I
yeah,
was,
yeah,
right? And Peter followed this trade, and his success story is we have that, and I think, and every one of us, we have there's a turning point when we realize that okay, we've got to dig deeper, right? We really, we thought we knew a lot, and the market will always teach us and show us otherwise, right?
mhm,
And I think, and that's what you want, right? It's a lot of work and it's continuous work,
yeah.
all right, to
Oh, I'm
get,
gonna get back into this trade when when this thing becomes overextended.
yeah. This is where Peter got trapped here.
Yeah, see that middle part? Yeah,
Yeah, right in
that
here.
chop.
Yeah. Peter nailed the short. He
Yeah.
nailed the short here. He waited how long, Peter? A year? Was it a year? Almost a
Yeah, I was
year?
watching it for a year. It was
4 years.
consolidating for a year.
Yeah.
So when at the very bottom of that purple line, that support, when it broke support, I just added it in a whole bunch of positions at the break of support.
At the break of support here,
Support
right?
on
Here.
Yeah, on the left. You
Yeah.
see you see that on the left hand side there was all it's just prices just chopping back and forth, and it went up and then it went down and then broke support, and that's when I had a whole bunch of positions, but then I added like $30,000 of positions on that break of support. I just had a whole bunch of money sitting on the side ready to jump in. And then Putin was, we were hearing all this news. He was lining up armies around Ukraine. And then when he announced that thing just dropped, like, and then I thought it was going to keep on dropping for like 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
I was going to get out, but it did not. The next day, the price went way up. It just like bear market rallied, and I just didn't understand it, and I just held in.
And this was a very difficult trading for Peter. Peter was caught up in here.
Yeah,
And I remember we were fine tuning, right, Peter? You went to a smaller time frame,
yeah,
right, to kind of fine tune. and you actually started trading the range. Remember that? You
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
started trade. I think you learned so much from this trade.
yeah.
I think this trade here made you a much better trader. All right.
I have a question about that when you talk about ranges because what I'm seeing, so, and this may be wrong, but I see within ranges that I see possible trades, and it seems more desirable when it's like in that horizontal pattern. It's almost
Yeah.
predictable.
It's
Looking at that
it's
horizontal,
the opposite of a trend strategy. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
the opposite.
exactly,
You have to write it down. Like range trading is basically outside trading in,
yeah,
and
mm-hmm,
then trend is inside trading out.
right, okay.
So it's the flip. And so it will
The
range,
in,
price usually will range more than it will trend. But once it trends, you get on that train.
yeah,
So most of the time, 75% of the time, price will range bound. And what's range bound is the institutions or whatever, they're building their position size. They're building. So basically energy is building up. And then when it's released, then price will generally trend for a certain amount of time. So trending takes patience. Ranging is a day-to-day strategy.
makes sense, makes sense. That's the difference between smart money and dumb money, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I still have trouble like trading the trend. Like on a day-to-day basis, it is hard to catch that trend. Most of the time, it's just range bounding. So most of my profits are made from support and resistance. So if it's prices at support, it would usually bounce off of support. So you go long on support, and then resistance, it will bounce off. So you go short on resistance. It's the opposite of what David teaches. David teaches if it breaks resistance, you go buyers are in control, you go long. If it breaks support, you go short, sellers in control. So you have to write it down. Ranged strategy is the opposite of a trend strategy. So once you learn support and resistance, everything will become more clear, and then you can figure out what your strategy is. So what I was hoping with the IWM is once it breaks support, it will continue to trend down. And actually, when price falls down, it usually panic will be in the market, and then when there's panic, it just straight down. Um, and with I had a lot of options, and options would just basically magnify your profits. So I was planning on sheer panic on the IWM, but the market held. It didn't panic. So I was studying the COVID crash, and I was studying the 2008 um, housing crash, and it just sheer panic. Like it drops like 20, 30, 40, 60% quick.
So I'm with you on that because that's kind of like one of the things that, and I write down a lot of things that David says because I'm a news guy, man. I'm always trying to catch the news and listen to
Yeah,
not just individual stocks, but the overall market. What's the
yeah,
movement or direction of the market and stuff like that.
right,
But by the time I make a decision, it's done. I'm like,
right,
I'm the
yeah.
guy. I'm the guy on the back end, you know. So
For my experience is you pick one asset that you want to trade, and then you just like be super knowledgeable on one thing. Get good at trading one product, whether just like a few forex pairs or a few stocks. For me, is I trade nothing but treasury bonds for a whole year, and I only touch gold just recently. So one product for the entire 2022. So that's why when you say you pay attention to news, like when I'm only dealing with one product, I only know I don't need to pay attention to the news all the time. I just know on certain days the certain reports comes out, and that's all I need to focus on. So I don't overload myself, my brain, try to trade like 20 different products. I only get good at one thing for like months. So I know the ins and outs, and it's not stressful. So that's why I haven't shown up, because I don't trade stocks anymore. I don't trade Forex anymore. Attend the meetings just to see what is trending, and I'll catch a trend. I'll try to catch a just trend. So right now we're just talking about, the dollar, whether that was trend. So my news is like when you're like just inundated with news, like then you're just in your head all the time, and you kind of like too much information, analysis by paralysis. So I just recommend just pick one to two products, and just get really good at knowing the ins and out all about the product. And then basically, okay, only these type of news at this time will affect the movement. So you can, have a life.
Thanks. Makes sense. Makes sense. Wisdom.
A lot of wisdom, right?
Yeah. Like David, some different systems, like the monster system, the stock system, future stuff. So just all you have to do is just pick one system, and then just like pick three things. If you're doing Forex, doing USD, Euro, GDP, GBP, dollar, and you just know, and then you just study the chart. Like, okay, at what time do price move? At what? Okay, those are the time. So do I want to get up at that time, or do I have that time where I'm not working to trade it? So basically you kind of pick your product, and you pick your time that you want to trade. And you can actually, with trading, there's so much flexibility. It's like, okay, I work during the day, I can only trade at nighttime. So then you would pick the Japanese stuff. Or if you're willing to wake up very early, then you'll wake up to trade the Europe stuff, the London stuff. So just trading can fit your schedule. Just You can pick the products. So that's why I pick treasury bonds, because I know when exactly treasury bonds will move. So then I can kind of organize my life where I can, spend time with family, friends, besides just 24 hours looking at my phone, my chart.
And Peter didn't get there overnight, right? He had to figure out what works for him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Took many
So
years. I touched a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah.
Whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
um, any other questions for Peter while we have him here? And then Peter, I'll take a look at the dollar index for you.
I was drawing that I was looking at the dollar index on the 4 hour and the daily,
Okay.
and I see it like it's in a channel, and it's in a descending channel. So I just want you to point that out to you, like we're at the top of the channel.
Yeah, let's take a look at it here.
So we need to see like a break of that channel.
All right.
So
Let's see here. Okay,
I
so
would
let's
recommend, if you're in a position, just be ready to get out of the position if the dollar index starts trending down.
all right. What time frame, Peter?
You can put it on it's easier to see on the daily,
Okay.
and then you can connect the tops, the highs and the lows.
Okay.
Once you pick one product, get good at looking at the charts and start drawing lines. And David's system will draw the lines for you. You s- yeah.
Okay, so Peter, okay, so what are you seeing here?
So if you zoom in at the high, and you see all these
Right,
highs,
right
high
here.
right there, and then you move to the left, that's another
Okay.
high. So this is a descending channel. So we're at you trend line. You just connect the tops, and then you connect the bottoms. I usually connect the bottoms, and I'll just copy my line, and I'll just put it on top on the other side. So basically, you have prices making lower lows and then lower highs. So that's in a channel on the daily. And then I flip it to the 4 hours. So I'm going to explain what a descending channel is. Basically, price is going in a certain direction. It will hit the bottom. Think of it like a little tube that's slanting down to the right. So basically, price is like water. It'll hit the bottom of the tube. It'll bounce off the bottom. It'll come up to the top of the tube, and it can't break the top of the tube, and it'll come back down. So it's been doing that, and right now we're at the top of the tube. So we're looking at whether price will break through the tube and sustain above the tube. So if it's so a lot we're getting buy signals, yeah, because it's on the top of the tube. But just kind of be mindful that it could sellers could push it down.
You guys see what he's looking at? Is what
Yeah.
Peter is looking at there, guys?
Yeah, I can see that.
So what you're looking for is to go long on this one is for it to break that channel. There's an imaginary line slanting down that price tend to respect. So we're looking for a breakout of the channel, and
So
then
what price would you what price, Peter, you thinking?
you're looking at the break of resistance. Resistance will be at
So right here,
103.93. Just call it
right
one
here.
103.95. Let's just call it 193 to 95. You're looking for that break of that resistance, and then price coming back down at that level and get respected. So basically, resistance turn into support. That would
So
be a really strong buy signal. Right now, right now is just you can get trapped. Buyers could get trapped right here.
so he's saying a break, a big break above,
Yeah, a big
and then
break above.
retest,
Correct.
retest,
Retest of that level.
hold.
Retest. Hold it. So that would be confirmation.
That would be a that would be a conservative confirmation, conservative entry to go long.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now it's in a descending channel, so the buyers might get tricked into buying, but the seller's going to overpower the buyers and then take that down. So remember, sellers need buyers if they want to push it down. So basically, we're going to have a little bit of a battle right here at the 103. So that affects, if you're trading Forex, that affects the other pairs. So if you're like in profit and you're watching this, if the dollar doesn't win that battle, then you might want to take your profits and get out. That's just a second opinion. I trade with
Is
a friend, and we're always making the case. He's more like long, and I'm more short. So we'll basically make an argument for each direction. So that, and then you have to back it up of why you think it's going to go long, and what is like with volume and price and stuff like that. So right now is like we're having all this You know, it seems like we're getting some positive data for the economy.
And I do kind of like a thing because and I struggle with this because then I'm and I maybe overcomplicate it and mess up my
Yeah.
own mind because then I'm looking at, well, what's the inverse of the dollar? Do I look at the inverse like gold against the dollar, what direction gold is going in,
Mhm.
and I kind of like think I overthink things.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
Support
not
and
at that
resistance.
level.
You have to have like the news and what's the whole things going on in the world would be some kind of catalyst. But then at the end of the day, is this does it break resistance? Does resistance become support? So then you just go back to your fundamentals. Like when you're coming to a meeting, you wanna you kind of have some kind of in if you trade it professionally, you always have your research, what's your justification for this trade, it's called analysis, your analysis report of going long and your analysis report of going short. So basically there will be basically support and resistance, buyers, sellers. Is there when we break this level, do we have enough buyers to push it up? And then basically, if the buyers win this level, and then resistance become a support, and then basically, sellers will relent, and then basically buyers will push us up. But according to the channel, basically sellers probability will win this fight.
I
If
think
you
that was
go
a key
back
word you just said, probability.
Yeah, if you go
Probability.
back to January 6th, the sellers won this fight at this descending channel. January 6th. It looked like it was about to break that channel, but then sellers came back and pressed it down.
Right here, Peter. Right
Yeah,
here.
January 6th. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Right here.
So all you have to do is put a little alert. You just put a little alert on top of that price, and also alert at support. Support would be 103.00. It'll alert you, and you just put a little note. Okay, if it breaks this level, it's probably going to go short. If it breaks this level, it's probably going to go to long.
That's really cool, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, and I just wanted to add something because for me, David, like I told you before, like got your courses and everything like that. I was doing Trading View and things like that, and I there's a concept called front running, right? So with front running, you like you can get ahead of the group mentality, or if you will,
Hmm.
go higher or lower above the support and resistance and things like that. And one of the things that I appreciated about David's uh, charts and the signals, it's like kind of simplified it for me because and
Yeah.
Peter, what you're saying is like those are things that once you get seasoned and well understand the charts and the flow, you take those you take that to another level. And I'm
Yeah.
throwing I had to mentally throw away everything that I thought I knew about trading and
Hmm.
back to basics. And
Right.
all I see are those blue dots and the white dots and the
Hmm. So
but
with
what
front
now.
running, like what's your how's it been working out?
Well, okay, so in the past, when I was trading, run running, I'd go with some information, and it's like, oh man, it's about to hit you know, that ceiling, but it didn't, before it hits that ceiling, I'm gonna get out. you know. But it's not. It's I mean, it's not exact, you know. And the same thing shorting. You know, I'm about to hit that was support, but before I hit that support, if I'm looking at the left side and the trend and things like that, you know, I try to get out just before everybody else, you know, hits
Hmm.
that level, you know, trying to get that mentality, and then
Were
all
you
of a sudden
making
it kind
money?
of like more. Well, not really, because it just keeps going in the opposite in the direction that I'm not expecting, you know.
Hmm. Hmm. With what you're saying is it seems the word I would use would be like aggressive. Like you would try to forecast, and then you make
Yeah.
decisions on forecasting. So
Mm-hmm.
what I found out is with forecasting is if you may be right, but you have to stomach or endure the drawdowns. It might do a lot of weird things before it actually prove yourself right. So for me is like stomaching the drawdowns. Drawdowns meaning basically the pullbacks or it goes against you. So you have to, if you're trading your own money, you just got to prepare how much money how much percentage am I willing to stomach a drawdown. This is when money management comes in, and just basically when you're aggressive, basically you're always too early. So there's two stages after being too early. There's a manipulation phase, and then basically the actual direction that it's going to go in. So you usually have to stomach some kind of manipulation, whether a pullback or a rally or whatever. It's just like what you have to learn is if you're managing your money well, you have to be a little bit more conservative. And basically, conservatives, you're waiting on two or three confirmation. Like what I just explained about this whole conservative entry is you're waiting for a breakout of the trend line, and then not get in at the breakout is for a price to come back to that same level, and you're seeing buyers beat sellers hold that level. So that would be the second confirmation. First confirmation of the breakout. Second one would be
Yeah.
resistance becomes support.
Yeah. And
So
I've seen
then
that
boom,
in David's
that would
charts. I've
be
seen.
that would protect your money if
Yeah.
you're a bit, a little bit more conservative. When the price, when let's just say dollar against whatever is already trending, then you can see clear support resistance. It's just making higher highs, higher lows. Then you get in. Now, if you're like middle of the party, you just have to, you know, stomach the drawdowns. But this, if you would get in right now at the dollar, this is still like you say, it will be front running. You'll be early to the party.
Hey, Peter, Ford has a question for you there on the screen.
Is it in the comment section?
Yeah,
Okay.
all right, yeah. So he said, let's say that the bullish thesis for the dollar plays out, the bearish. Does that imply that bullishness for risk assets?
Are you talking about like, let's just say USD versus euro? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So
Does that
Ford,
imply bullishness for risk assets?
yeah. So Ford, yeah. Can you elaborate on that, please? All right. Um, in the meantime, so Peter, I wanted to ask you here. Okay, so Ford says S&P, Nasdaq, Peter. Cryptos,
Oh, okay. I get it. I get it. What he's saying is basically it's inverse. Usually, when the dollar goes up, the SP 500 goes down. That's what he's asking.
all right. Ford, does that help?
Yeah. If people are if people are getting into the dollar, that means they're selling their stocks to get into the dollar. So if they're getting into the dollar, SP 500 generally will be bearish. If they're getting out of the dollar, they're usually placed into other stuff, the index, commodities, whatever. You see how you're moving that chart on the left. You see
Mm-hmm.
how price goes parabolic up like that? That's very dangerous. You know that. And when it goes like 180 rocket to the moon like that,
Mm-hmm.
price usually will get. That's usually not a good sign. that's what that's usually, price will usually exhaust. But if it goes up steadily at a 45-degree angle, it's a little bit more reliable.
Any other questions for Peter? Good questions, guys. 1 second here.
So usually David would. I usually like to parrot what David teaches. Is just like, uh if you want to get in on dollar, I would start with a small position and then add to it. Like he would say, if it breaks resistance, and then add to it. When a resistance becomes support, add to it. If it breaks another resistance, becomes support, add to it. So, do a small position. If it's giving you a buy signal, dollar versus, you know, Swiss, dollar versus CAD. I mean, I looked at the dollar CAD. That looks pretty promising. It looks like on the daily, it looks like it's
Okay,
giving bullish signs.
so guys, if you guys look here, so this is the Dow, and
Unless
then this is the dollar here. So as Peter was saying, it's inverse, right? So if we look here, all right, in October, October is here. October is here on the Dow, right? And the Dow made this move here. All right. Same time on October on the dollar made a high. So the dollar made a high, right? Dollar made a high here in October. Hold on. And it's good to do this. All right. So here, the dollar made a high in October, all right, whereas the Dow made a low in October. All right, here's October here. So high in October, right? The dollar, all right, and the Dow made a low in October here. All right. Now here in February, the Dow is making a high. All right, and then guess what? The dollar is making a low here. All right. So and we need to know that, right? We need to know how, and we know that by following these charts, right? Paying attention to what's going on. All right. So what could happen here is this. All right. And the scenario Peter is referring to is that, hey, guess what? Right? If you guys look here, that down, we've got buy signals. We do have buy signals, right? And we know anything can happen, right? But we do have buy signals on the dollar. I'm sorry, on the Nasdaq. We do not have buy signals yet on the Dow. All right, all right. But we can certainly, if we break resistance, that'll definitely push the dollar down. All right. So if the Dow continues to move higher, Nasdaq, right, the Russell, S&P, right, certainly bring the dollar down. All right. All right. Any other questions for Peter? Any other questions for Peter?
Peter,
Oh, I
thank
just
you for everything that you've provided us. Really good stuff.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
I'm in the struggle with you guys, man. Trying to get better. Hey, David, take a
Yeah.
look at gold. I just got back into gold.
You got back in, Peter?
Yeah, yeah, because I told you it was gonna chop sideways and try
Okay.
to buyers trying to hold the position. I want you to take a look at gold.
Okay. Let's
You can
see
do
here.
GLD or
GLD. Okay.
you can do gold futures because I'm trading the gold futures.
All right. What time frame? Daily?
You can do the 4 hour.
4 hour. Okay. Let's see here.
Let's see. If you can do the futures, it would be better for me because that's the chart I'm looking at. The futures would be G, as in girl, Charlie, the number one,
All right.
and there's a little exclamation mark. If you
Let's see here.
because I was asking you like when should I get back in because price is very attractive.
So G.
G and then C as in Charlie, the number one. That would be a gold futures contract.
Hold on. Hold on.
If it gets too complicated, you can just go to
GLD. Let's
you
see.
can do gold versus dollar. That will work as well. I think they're about the same.
GC, GC1.
Yeah. Gold spot versus US dollar. I mean, you can actually Forex trade this too. GC1.
No, let's do the
Do
GLD.
yeah, do XAU USD. Gold versus dollar. Let's see, it's just easy. That's the same. XAU
XAU.
USD.
I don't think we have that data on TradeStation.
USD. Try it.
USD.
It's basically
No, we don't have it on
oh really?
TradeStation. Yeah, we
Okay.
don't have that data on
All right.
TradeStation.
Then do just GLD.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, we don't have. Yeah. On the 240. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at where to get back in. Let's see. I'm pulling up my chart.
All right. Okay, that's the 240, Peter. I don't think so, bud.
I know. I'm looking at whether buyers can hold it up. That's what I'm looking for. I'm a little more detail about it, but I think this is a great price. I think it still respects that upward trend, but basically I'm just kind of watching whether I'm putting a little alerts for myself whether buyers and sellers.
This is on the weekly here. Look at the weekly here.
And
Boy.
this is also has to do with the dollar too. It's like if people are fearful of holding the dollar, they would jump into the gold. So if dollar goes up, gold will probably go down. If dollar goes down, gold will probably go up. So I'm
Look
thinking
at it.
I'm thinking whether basically I'm just looking whether buyers and sellers what they do at this level. If it continues to chop sideways, then and then basically it tells me the buyers are holding this level.
All right, let's see here. Let's see here. All right. This is on the monthly.
Okay, I'm gonna switch it to the weekly.
So there
On
you
the
have it.
weekly, it's doing good. On the monthly, let's see, month. For me, it's on the monthly. It looks like it's just a pullback.
You got pretty good support. Um, if this could be huge, a big move if it breaks out, if it breaks the high here, and similar to the Dow. I mean, um, the Dow. You know, we've been in a consolidation. I was talking to Brian the other day,
Hmm.
and we were talking about this right here, this here, but um, in particular the Dow, right, which is really what's happening here. And we were talking about, if you guys look here, and Peter, this is very similar. Um, right, so here is support here, and this right here, this is a lot of big consolidation. All right, and this market has to go somewhere. All right, so if you take this, if you look at this area here, all right, that looks a lot like here. All right, where is it?
I mean, that's a good looking trend.
Yeah, that's a good looking trend, and this is a good trend here on gold too. I mean, that's not a bad trend. You got a pullback here. It's still a nice trend.
On
But
the monthly on the daily, it has not broken resistance yet. You haven't even gotten close to previous resistance. So that's why I think it's has room to run.
on the daily,
Yeah, on the daily. Previous resistance was that on the GLD was 186, and then higher than that, the previous than that 193. So we didn't even come close to that. So we're just experiencing a pullback, which will give you a better price.
yeah, it's got resistance right here. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that no, I'm talking. Yeah, you go back to that.
So
That
where you looking for a buy? Where you looking for a buy then? If it
yo,
does,
I
if
got
it
in. I got in at
you in?
18. Yeah, 1890
Okay,
on the. But basically, what I was talking about, we haven't hit like we haven't hit April 18th, 2022 resistance yet. We're still far away from that.
okay. It held
So
it held support. It held this support here.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, was just I'm looking for buyers to hold this level and see what it
Yeah.
does.
Well, it's got to fill that gap there, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I was, my target would be I'm long until it comes to that previous resistance of 186, and then I'll probably take some position off.
186 up here.
Yeah, see
Up
that?
here.
Yeah, right there. See, that was the previous resistance.
Oh, okay.
It didn't come close to that. So I
Uh-uh.
think it has still some room to run.
Uh-uh. Yeah, yeah, you might. You had a red candle here. This is always a bullish sign. You got a red candle followed by white candles here.
Yeah.
right? Within that markup phase, you're still in that markup phase. It hasn't given a sales signal. No, you guys don't try that at home, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You just have to watch it.
Yeah.
Add in a small position if you're gonna go out.
But a green candle, you get a green candle tomorrow, right? Get a green candle to come in tomorrow. That might be good. They'll fill in, right? They'll
Mhm.
fill in that gap, and yeah, you could get a decent trade out of this, right? It's just a pullback. If you look here, it's just a pullback, and it recaptures that moving average. Yeah, yeah,
Like when you're trading the trend, a good price to enter is always at the moving average.
the moving average. Yep,
Yeah. To add into your position.
yeah, right here, right on these pullbacks, right on these pullbacks, and sometimes it will line up right with support, right? So when it pulls back, brings in that support line, like here, right here. That's very very bullish.
Because
Yeah, Peter,
Wednesdays,
I didn't even see that. I didn't even look at that there.
We're talking about trend trading, right? Trading the trend.
Wednesday,
Wednesdays are trading the trend. So,
yeah,
and
yep,
it's
yep,
easier
yep,
on your
yep.
system to trade the trend on the 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, but on a intraday, on a day trade, it's hard. It's like there's some
Yeah,
it whipsaws. It's
yeah.
like,
There's no trend, right? There's no
yeah,
trend.
it's so hard. Every time I trade the trend during the day, it's just like I take a loss. It always hits my stops.
It's a different. It's a if it, it's a totally different type of trading, right?
Yeah,
It's very very different. One
but
is
it's
where
good for
you
beginners. It's
yeah
like you
one
trade on the
yeah
4 hours.
yeah you've got to yeah one you've got to you trade in the range, right? And like Peter day trades, right? So yeah, you have to you can Peter, when you let me ask you, when you're trading intraday, what time frame are you using? Are you're not using the 4 hour, are you?
No, no, no. I'm using the 5 minute, one
Okay,
minute, and then I'm looking at support and resistance on the 1 hour.
on the 1 hour.
Yeah,
Okay,
just looking
okay,
at major resistance,
yeah, yeah,
major
yeah,
reason support resistance.
yeah. But Peter is trading full time, so he has time to watch the monitors. Peter, when you started, what time? What did you ever really do trend trading, or you always
When I
started
was
day
trading
trade?
stocks, like when I got your sniper system,
Okay,
I try to catch some trend. I try to catch that biotech trend.
Peter, but you were always more focused on shorter time frames, right?
Mm,
No.
that IWM, that was a trend trade.
Yeah, that was on the daily, right? Daily.
That was
Yeah,
on the 4 hour daily. Yeah. Because that was planning for months. Like that was
yeah.
like a 2 months kind of trade.
Peter, when we spoke on Saturday, you sent me the text about your gold trade,
Yeah.
and
That was a trend trade.
that was a train trade. And you had mentioned to tell everyone. You told me to tell everyone to just take the trade.
Yeah. Just
You
push the
said,
button.
Dave, take the trade.
Push the
Why
button.
did you? And I send it out to everyone. Is that what you did? Is that what you did with your gold trade?
Yeah. I just pushed the button. I was looking at, like you told me, we went over on Monday, and then Tuesday I pushed the button. So
Mm. How? Because it was. What would have happened had you not pulled the trigger on that trade? Because you plan for it, right? So much so, you call in and you ask about it. What would have happened, do you think, if you had not pulled the trigger, and it and noticed after the fact that it went the way you thought?
like what would happen if I didn't pull the trigger? It's
Yeah.
just nothing bad. Nothing bad. It's just like
Yeah.
you'll have made some kind of regrets, but there's
Yeah,
always
yeah. But
another
yeah.
opportunity. Uh, but as a trader, for me, it's a personality thing. I think a lot of times it will go better for me to not trade, to not push the button, because I'm a bit opportunistic. If I see an opportunity, I want to jump on it. I'm a little trigger happy.
Mm.
So for tomorrow, for example, tomorrow is high volatility for me, and I have to write in my notebook: do not trade during the day. Do not trade. Like I get itchy. Like so so for people who are cautious or are a little unsure, that's why we say push the button. Because in the beginning you have to just do things and make a lot of mistakes. Execution. That's how you learn from your mistakes and messing up, losing a little bit of money. So beginners do make a lot of trades, but when you're more seasoned and you do this as a job, you have to learn patience, and not doing things. So for me, is not trading, and so I don't have a problem pushing the button. I love this game. But it was just I come to the meeting and David said the only thing that's trending this week is gold and silver. And I looked at the chart. I have not traded gold, so it took me a day to figure out how much money do I need, um, what's it doing, okay, where I'm gonna planning the trade, where I'm gonna get in. So I planned it. I put an alert that I was gonna buy at the break of resistance, and price was consolidating. It was chopping sideways, and then once it broke, I'm automatically in the trade. So I already pushed the button. I say, hey, buy, stop order, and then at this price. So it just executed the trade for me on the breakout.
Hey, Peter. I get a lot of questions. We have so many traders that kind of want to be where you are. All right. I mean, everyone comes in. Eventually, the goal is to be able to trade full time. It's the dream of every trader, right? Um, can you give us like an idea of a day in the life of like how your day as a trader?
Sure. This might seem a little crazy uh, to people who are not traders. I have to go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I have to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning, because that is when my assets moves, and it moves in one direction consistently. It's low volatility, it moves in one direction, and it trends. So I have to get up at 3 a.m. and I trade between 3 to 6. I have to drink coffee, do some push ups, wake myself up. A lot of times I just flip my notebook and I'll still be in bed, and I'll just like one eye open looking at the chart. So sometimes you can work from bed. My desk is next to my bed. But usually from Monday to Thursday, I stick to a schedule, go to bed at 10, wake up at 3 a.m. I don't have a problem like getting up. Um, but and this is where I make the mistakes. I should be done by 9 o'clock a.m. But then because I love the game, I would take trades that not supposed to take, and then I will give back the money that I made
Hmm.
during 3 to 7. So that's why I write out my notebook on Thursdays. That's when a lot of news and new data comes out, high volatility, a lot of unpredictability. I should not trade. I should not give back all the profits I made. So that's the mistakes that I'm working through. Um, that's a lot of day of life with the trader. For new people, um, try to keep things simple. Like just pick one or two products, be an expert at one or two products, and practice with paper money and just practice execution. Buy limit order, sell limit order, buy stop, sell stop, take profit, trailing stops. Like, learn to dribble in basketball, just dribble, 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 and make mistakes. Because when it's game time, you do not have time to figure out how to place an order, get out of a trade, enter in a trade, multiple trades. Like, you don't have time to learn how to dribble a basketball when you're in the game. You have to learn your mechanics. So in the first months of trading, just press buttons. How do I get in and trade? How do I get it out of trade? So when it's game time for me, I'm not even thinking of, I don't, it's so second nature. So basically in the trades, it's just managing my own emotions, managing like greed and fear, and then just recording the trade, forecasting, planning the trade. Most of the time, like, um, there's only three types of trades I do. So basically, just controlling yourself, uh, just wait for your setups, just wait for it, watch, patience. So for me is learning about patience and not over trading. Know when to trade, know when not to trade. So when you figure out all the in the beginning stuff, figuring out all the mechanics of it, then it becomes self control.
Peter, let me ask you one last question, and then we'll let you go. Dean had mentioned, I think it was last week, about money management, right? It's like Dave, and I agreed with him, right? We don't spend a lot of time on money management, and you know, I'm guilty of that fact. We really should, because I think money management is perhaps, you know, 90%. Apart from your mindset and everything else, money management is key, right? Sometimes I think it's perhaps more money management, risk management, more important than your entries and exits. You trade in a lot of capital, and now you're not. It's not just your capital, right? You're trading
Yeah.
for a firm.
Hmm.
All right. What? How do you? And I'm sure since you've gone full time, you trade in capital. I'm sure money management is critical, right? Because you have to keep your drawdown
Correct.
at a minimum. All right. So, how do you treat money management? How do you respect it? And you talk. You mentioned that you've got to pay attention to not trading and always trading.
Right.
Um, how do you feel about money management now that you're full time? Now that you're trading capital, right? Not your personal capital. I'm sure there isn't as much stress, right? Because it's not your personal capital, but there's another element of perhaps
Hmm.
stress because it isn't your capital, right? Can you talk about that?
Hmm. I still get into a debate with traders and friends that um, they would tell me one thing, um, and then I push back on them. Oh, I have to think about money management. Um, I guess with your own money, with me, I was willy nilly. I don't have so much restrictions about money management, but with trading for a firm, it places so much more limits on what you can do and how much risk you can stomach. It's basically that's kind of like the number one rule of kind of job duties is basically following their money management. Uh, they're giving you they you're responsible for making money for the firm and also responsible for self control, not losing money of the firm. So it places a lot of limits. So what that means is certain time during the day, high volatility, I need to exercise self control and not trade because it would break the money management parameters. So that's why I get up at 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. and I usually do very well because it's low volatility. The price is not going to swing up, down, all around. Uh, and that will then it follows their risk parameters. So we want to consistently our profit and loss statement should needs to be like a stair, go up, down a little bit, up, down a little bit, up, down a little bit. It has to make progress. So it's if you can go through an evaluation, that will make you a more disciplined trader, consistently profitable. So money management, when you put that consideration in your trades, it basically it tightens you up and makes you a more disciplined trader. So discipline has always been um, my issue. So working for a prop firm makes me a better trader. The money management side, it's like you know when you're using other people's money, you just got to play by the rules.
Yeah.
Hey, Peter, are you so when you're talking about money management in that aspect, and you're waking up 3 o'clock in the morning, are you referring to what medium are you referring? I mean, forex, stocks, options. I
Let me
mean,
give you a practical example. So money management, like I set my own money management that is way below uh the the risk levels. So let's just say my firm says, okay, each day you're not allowed to lose more than $1,000. So for me is I place my limit way below that. So okay, each day I'm not gonna lose $300. If I lose more than $300, I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop working, just stop trading. So basically, each day, practically, I'm trading treasury bonds. I try to make $250 during my working period, and then my max loss is about 175. So that would be, and I break that down in how many points. So I'm just like looking at the points. So basically, that would be my money management. Okay, if I lose more than $175, I'm done for the day, and my goal is to make 250, and that's way below the company's rules.
so how does that translate to your personal money management, risk management, more so?
Okay, I would that could translate into whatever you do for forex, or that is a personal thing that you need to come up for yourself, and also work with a coach like David, like with his thing. He because each asset has their own little unique characteristics of how much it moves down or how much it moves up. So that's a little thing that you need to figure out personally. A lot of people would use percentage. Okay, let's just say you're working with $10,000. I'm only going to risk 2% of $10,000 each day. That would be money management. I'm gonna write down my own goals for the week. I want to make uh about 3% at the end of the week. And then I'm going to break that down to different types of trades. So risking a percentage of your capital would be money management. When you're going to stop trading, when do you stop? Like self-control. When if I lost a trade, how many trades I'm going to place a day? How many money am I willing to lose each day before I call it stop? So that is money management.
And
Got it. Got it.
Peter
Thank you.
also, Dean mentioned, you notice, right? He pays attention to when the market, all right, and this is part of risk management, right? So when the market is not as volatile, all right. So you notice he's taking all of that into consideration,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
And
yeah.
you start like looking at your past trades, and you see certain trades that do well and certain trades that is losing money, and then you try to go back and say, okay, the things that are losing money, let's stop doing that. The ones that the time period that I'm making money, let's do more of that. That's just basically self-reflection on your trades. And then basically my issue is I would make money, and then basically the period of time where I'm not supposed to be trading high volatility, and I give back all the money I made. So like you will come to that level where you're enjoying the game too much, and you want to take opportunities, but you shouldn't. So for tomorrow, you can slap my hand if I say, if you caught me telling, hey, I traded the Thursday during the day. so so Thursday during the day, I try to plan something like, let's get away from trading desk. Let's go outside. Let's go to SeaWorld. Let's do something else. Just so I don't have the opportunity to press the button.
I know, Peter. When I traded a lot, I would have sticky notes, right? Little notes
Mhm.
all over my area, right?
Right.
Little reminders. Do you do that?
Yeah, I
Little
have a notebook.
reminders.
I have
And
a I have a little planner, right? And I write all my trades, and I would write in things for the next day and the next day. Um, just a reminder. Like I
is it
recommend
is Go ahead, Peter. Go
I
ahead.
recommend everybody to keep a journal. Like you have to journal um your trades, specifically the emotions. We're human beings. We're not algorithms, not robots. Our emotions will mess us up a lot of the time. So keep a journal when you place a trade, what you were feeling. Were you feeling greedy? Were you feeling fearful? Were you happy? Whatever that state of emotion that we will feel, you have to journal it. That's yeah.
Is the journey worth it, Peter? It's a lot of work. I know you put in a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
A lot of our new traders, they're putting in work, right? Whether it's coming here, right? Even in an investment, right? An investment in time, investment in resources, right? Is it worth it? Do you think it's worth it? I mean,
I don't have to say about the whole money part. There's so many YouTube channels, so many young millionaires being made. So the financial aspect for me I like playing the game. My grandma is a trader. She's 72 years old, and she pick stocks. Like she just like old school style. Just look at tickers. She knows when to buy, when to sell, and she enjoy it. And I got her gift of seeing the markets. I seen patterns. When you're doing this job, it's for me is the freedom. I don't have to work every day if I don't want to. Uh, you can. I plan on like having a house in Europe, so I don't have to wake up at 3 a.m. So you can have multiple houses in different parts of the world. It's just because it fits the time session. Um,
You know,
for me, I like the freedom of the doing. Um, everyone has their own reasons.
yeah,
Financially, I'm not too worried about that aspect. It does. I'm not in it for the nice cars and stuff. I just like doing what I love, and also being able to provide for your families uh, in ways that people can't imagine. Like when you get to that level, when you're managing like 100 grand, 300 grand, it's like life is I wouldn't say easy mode, but basically you have a lot of control what you want to do during the day. It's
isn't that
never
amazing?
Yeah, it's never boring. Like it's never boring. Never boring. There's always some kind of crazy stories. Crazy stories. Everyone has their own story, and I'm just surprised that people from other countries, from third world countries, Spain, this and that, and then when they really put themselves into this, you're seeing like 22-year-olds with like amazing success when that would have never been possible without access to the capital market, you know.
Well, we'll end there. Um, boy, thanks, Peter.
I
Thanks.
hope you guys enjoy that little talk. I I
This was a great
I
session.
feel like I'm monopolizing most people's time. Like with if maybe they want to ask their own questions, so I don't like to talk all the time.
Peter, we
I,
wish, we wish, listen, we wish you would be here every single day, right? The knowledge, the wisdom, the growth, you're growing, you're continuing to grow. And it's just, it's I love when you share, right? You share your story. This is where, I talk to traders, and when I do coaching, everyone asks me, Dave, is it possible to trade full time? The majority, and I've been around traders that have done it. A lot of our traders have done it, right?
are they asking about the money aspect, or are they asking about their mindset? Like they're trying
Well,
to.
yeah, it's some a lot of the time it's freedom. Okay, it's hey, I want to have the freedom to to just do what I want to do, right? But I don't think a lot of traders, new traders, understand the work, right? And that's why I love when you come on, Ricky come on,
Mhm.
because you guys talk about the money. You guys
But
notice Peter hasn't talked about the money as much, right? It's all about the process, right? The process and the love, right? The love for this,
yeah, if you
right?
want, I mean, I'm super comfortable with talking about money because we deal with numbers all day. Is
Yeah.
if they're asking about, one is like you have, is there your own mental limits you place on yourself, another, or you just maybe we just worried about the numbers, to give you an example, like w- I'm not at this level yet, but if I reach the third level, I could use 8 contracts, and if I just want to scalp a point with 8 contracts for my asset of treasury bonds, instantly I would make $500. So for 15 minutes to an hour work to make $500, yeah, you you have all the freedom you want, and you make $500, and you can just call it a day. If you could make that consistently for 4 days, 4 out of 5, that's 2 grand. And then, and that's just, it's scaling your trade, and you know what possible is uh, is extraordinary. So number wise, I mean, I hope to get to to the third level where I can just use 8 contracts right off the bat, and I would just basically, I would let's just say the gold. It's like if gold moves from 174.41 to 42, and I'm using 8 contracts, I would make $500 in just scalping that. So yeah, the numbers will make you able to do this full time. It's Yeah. So I worked a job before. I'm making $25 an hour, but then now I'm just making $25 every few seconds. It's,
Wow.
yeah. Basically it goes both ways. You can lose that quickly as well.
Peter, how long has it been now full time? How long? Has it been a year? Has it been a year yet? Or almost a
I
year?
quit my job, I think, February of 2022. So
So
right
it's a
now,
year.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
year.
11 months, 12 months, yeah.
It's a year.
Just
Um,
straight boring, just like one product. That's it. Like I gave up stocks. I'm not even doing sniper. I'm not trading IWM. I really want to jump back. I've been super disciplined. I could trade IWM in the futures, but it's extremely high volatility. Like I
yeah. It's not
uh,
ready. I don't think it's ready to be traded, you know? Yeah.
yeah, so one product for a whole year. I just added gold. That was like I was happy to catch that trend. So,
So it's basically just finding your fit, what fits you, your
yeah, yeah.
comfort level, right? Yeah.
You fit. I tried Forex. I did Forex. I mean, I've been this is what 14, 15 years in. I started trading when I was like what 23. So I'm 40 now. So yeah, I touch a lot of things. Yeah. And if like I said, if you spend a year or two making a lot of mistakes, that's the key. Like a lot of people won't. They try to learn everything and then try to do it. It's like you have to do, and then from the doing you learn much faster. Yeah,
From the doing, you learn much faster.
yeah.
Wow.
Because you can read this textbook and that book and that book and that book. It's just it's then you're just too scared to push a button. So in the beginning, just push that button. Just try to do just trying to do this and that, and just get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out. Yeah.
What can you tell them about losses? How do you approach losses?
They feel pretty bad. That's where the psychology comes in. It feels pretty bad. You want to trade more to make up for it. And that's where things starts really getting worse and worse for yourself. Um, so uh, for me, I would need to see I think when I get better and better, I would meet with a psychologist just so I can deal with that emotion of loss and greed, fear, loss, and greed. Those and it goes so deep into us. It goes back to our childhood when we first experience loss, um, experience a win. It just makes us do weird things. So as a professional trader, like I would need to have to see a psychologist, regularly, a performance coach. That's when you go to the next level and the beyond. Yeah. So for me is when I experience a loss. If let's say I experience a $400 loss, and then I would instantly I want to make up for it. Yeah, I want to trade more. I want to not follow my plan, so it could instantly spiral out of control. So losses. That's why I recommend the journal. What were you feeling for this trade? Were you feeling fear, greed?
How do you handle revenge trading?
I still weak. I would still react to losing, wanting to get back at the market. But now that you know, um, I, I have, I'm working on it. So
You're
I'm
working
getting
on it.
better. I'm getting
Yeah.
better. Like I have so many stories where I would be up like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll be up $900, and then come Thursday, I would give half of it back. You know, and if I only just do nothing, like, and it happens over and over again, and it happens repeatedly because my psychology. It's my psychology that needs work. It's not my trading. It's not my plan. It's not my knowledge. It's just because something in me, I can't control myself if I lose. I lose when I know I'm right, and then the market will mess with you. The market
Yep.
will go in the opposite direction of your plan, and then eventually goes into your direction, and that part of it'll psych you out. So that part will, like, you, if you can't self control yourself, that's when you start compounding your losses. You're making a situation worse. A lot of times I could stomach a $500 loss, but if I stomach a $4,000 loss, I want to get back into it as quickly as possible.
Yep.
So I think Moderna is the one that I say over and over again. Like Moderna, instead of taking a $500 loss, I made that loss into $4,000.
Hmm.
So if I just took in that $500 loss and walked away, I would not have made that situation even worse. I think overall I lost $7,000 over Moderna. Moderna.
I remember you talking about that, right?
David is the Nasdaq and mine's the Moderna. That's the haunts that story that we always tell over and over.
Yeah.
Just
Mine,
take that
yeah.
loss. Just walk away. Take that
Mine was
500.
the QQQ puts. Yeah.
You should
I'll
have
never
just got
forget
out,
it.
took a
Yeah.
loss, and then not compounded.
Yeah. I told my wife I was gonna make all this money on these QQQ puts. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right? And if you guys listen to Peter, it's his journey continues, right? There's no end to it,
Mhm.
right? Um, and we talk about the hero's journey, and Peter, right? He's on this journey, and look, right? He's coming back to give you guys just a lot of wisdom. Okay, a lot of wisdom, and he's been through it. He's
You
been
know
through it.
what makes me better is working with other traders like that. Like they will tell you things that you just don't see. It's like how, like, and then they also tell me that when I tell them things, they take my information and they can make money with it. It's like I show them things that they don't see. So right now I'm in this that working with another firm. I'm collaborating with other people because people will have a perspective and skill sets that it's like I don't know how to do that. It's like, oh wow, I'm learning something from you. It's like, so for me, like, I enjoy it more because other traders make you better. Like,
Oh,
so that's
hey,
what,
hey,
come to the meeting, meet us, come to whatever we have. We have some, what do we have, a get together soon this
that'd
year?
be great.
Yeah, we'll. I think in April. In
Yeah.
April, we'll have another one. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, I have a different kind of fear, so uh, I
Sure,
have
sure.
to jump off because
Yeah.
my wife is giving me my hour time trading a day, and I really
Yeah.
gotta get off.
Yeah. We've gone over. Yeah. Absolutely. We're finishing up. Thanks, Dean, for coming.
Thanks, guys.
I'm gonna ask. I want to
Thank
have
you.
Solomon now. Peter. Solomon, young trader, right, in his 20s, and I want to give Solomon an opportunity to ask you any question he wants to ask you because he wants to be right. He's young and he's done some really nice things early in his career. All right. So and I know he's got some goals. Right. He's got some goals. So I want to give him before we leave. I want to give Solomon an opportunity to ask you, um, Solomon, ask Peter, right? Any question you've got him here, right? So any question that you have, right? You've got him here, all right?
Hi, Mr. David. Hi, Mr. Peter.
Hi
How you
there.
doing?
Hey, Solomon.
Yes, sir. It's nice to finally speak to you.
You as
Yes, sir.
well.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
Yeah. Let me say, like my last week trading, and Mr. David talked about my success trade, and Mr. David always, do the work and always making sure he's looking at the overall market for all of us, and notifying us, even though we also have the system and also have to, you know, look, constantly try to, see what's going on in the market. So I got two, what do you call it? Two, positions I took. I took one on Forex and I took one on the stocks, and I did an option on it.
Hmm.
So that was the TWOU and pound dollar that just closed probably yesterday. So when I go into the trade made it. I think I bought like, I think it's a one option or two options, and the trade moved in 2 days. It was like it made $700. I'll be honest.
Hmm.
But I stayed in. I bought the, what I call it, the trade expiration to like another 3 months to 3 to 4 months away, and when I looked at the stock box, because we use the EAT seeker and look for those stocks. That's when I got, I saw the CWO and he gave the buy signal. And luckily for me, that, there was buying, and that thing moved like in 2 days, 700. And I still kept it, and I'm still in the same position.
Hmm.
But I don't know if I'll say sellers are coming in. It didn't break no support yet. Well, like audio, capital. Well, I don't regret, like it's taking it, but
Hmm.
because normally, if you understand the market stocks, you have to have it. You have to give it time for it to do its thing compared to like
Right.
forex. You know what I mean?
Is
So
TWO a tech stock?
yeah, it's a tech stock.
Twilio?
Yeah, to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. So, your recommendation, like with options, like what do you think is the best strategy to go with it? Is it like when it makes its move, you just take the capital and look for other, what do I call it, other options that is gonna make moves, or
You said that you bought it for months out, right?
yeah, for a couple months out.
Yeah. So usually options you experiencing time decay, the
Okay.
theta. Basically, your options loses value over time. You'll make the most money if it goes in your direction. So if you're up a lot, um, I it's an individual. It's a, you can individual. If you want to let it ride, that's the question I always ask myself: should I let it ride or should I take profit?
Okay.
Um, uh, uh, yeah, that's something that you will have to work with a coach on to figure that out specifically. But with options, it's so volatile. If you're up a lot, I would say it never hurts to take profit. It never hurts. Uh, I if I the IWM is a perfect example. I bought the options 2 months out, and the price was just going up, down, sideways, and I was just losing value every day. I was just like, yeah. So tech stocks very volatile. It's been good. It's been good. Good. Good move. Strong move up. If it's hitting your resistance, then I would take it. That's
Okay.
my personal recommendation. Um, so if you had the stock, then let it ride.
Right. Okay.
You don't face time decay if you bought actually the Twilio stock. But if it was the option and you're up a lot, I would take profit
Oh, okay.
because options if there's options is weird. In low volatility, your spreads are huge. Your buy asks are huge, so you can be instantly from a lot of profit to break even or negative because of the spread. Um, so when it's high volatility, a lot of people are trading options, and you're up a lot. I would take profit. Like I said, you can if uh, if you had the stock, you can let it ride.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, so but like I had like RIOT, so that was another stock. But like
Mhm.
when it was trying to see if when I was looking at the TWO, because I was using the
Yeah.
the whole underlying concept of stay in the trade and support and resistance.
Yeah,
And
that's
when
when
I did
you
break resistance.
when you're not facing a time element, like you're
Oh,
not pressed
okay,
for time. So
okay.
David's a sniper. He always tell you to quickly, like if you're in profit,
Mm-hmm.
take if you're up 30, 40, 50%, take it. If you made $700, I don't know. If you're like 2x, 3x your original investment, I
Mm.
would take it. That cuz 300 200%, 300% gain, that's amazing. Like I said, if you don't want, I mean, anyways, it's my mindset is buyers of options lose on will lose most of the time. Probability is against you because of time decay. If you're a seller of options, it's a much better probability.
And that's Peter. That's what you did, right? You sold options.
That was very sustainable, like
Yeah.
selling option credits, collecting
Mhm.
credits
Yep.
along the way, because like 80% of the time you would keep the money. Yeah, what I lost a lot of money was because I was a buyer of options. I had puts on the
Yeah.
IWM. I had thousands of dollars in puts, and
Peter, you will never forget that trade.
oh, I'm hoping to turn that story around. You know, I'm hoping the IWM will go up, and then I will buy puts again.
You'll be ready for it. You'll be
Yeah,
ready.
yeah.
Thanks, Peter.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
thanks, thanks. Anytime, buddy. Anytime. You're
Any more
welcome.
questions,
Anytime.
Solomon?
Yeah, just one more last
One more. Okay.
recommendation.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
Mr. David. Yeah.
No, no, good.
So what's your overall, recommendation for, for a new trader like me, in the
How many
market?
how many how many months have you been
Uh,
actively pushing buttons?
well, I've been actively pushing buttons since I got Mr. David's system, so I'll say since maybe 2 to 3 months.
2 3 months.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, that's what I've,
Um.
you know.
Yeah,
Uh.
he's been on for 2 to 3 months, but
Keep
really trading about five weeks, five
Yeah.
six weeks. Yeah,
keep
trading.
your keep your real money small positions,
Okay.
and practice with paper money. And if you work with David, keep your position small, get a lot of small wins. um Practice your paper trade, and you can take some large positions. With options, you need a lot of experience, like
Mm.
a lot. Like I was only trading options for 8 months. Like I'm still, like, options is so versatile, and there's so much things to learn in options, but I would practice, keep your position small. That's what I say in the beginning. Since you're 5 years away, when you make $700, take the money. Always take the money. Like,
Oh,
take
okay.
consistently be profitable. Practice, plan your trades. You'll learn a lot of stuff. When you lose big, you learn a lot. So
Mm.
yeah, so until you start losing, you'll learn much faster if you lose, and you'll lose if you practice paper money. Just
Okay.
practice. Keep your real money small. Do the snipers, do the heat box. Just keep those option positions small,
Okay.
small size.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Peter. Really do appreciate the advice.
Yeah, good luck
Yeah,
to you,
and we
man.
hope to see you. And we hope to see you more time, though.
Twillo stock. I mean, I played Twillo like during. Yeah, I love. I made good money on Twillo. I think
Oh yeah.
because I was trading Adobe
Uh-huh.
puts, Twillo. Yeah, I was doing good. Those options. Yeah, if you can actually make a living off just trading options if you
Mm,
have a good system.
okay.
Yeah,
All right. Thanks very much, Mr.
you're
Peter.
welcome.
Thank you.
Solomon, no more. Any more questions? Any more
No,
questions for
that'll be
Peter?
for the night.
All right, all right. Peter, thanks, buddy.
You're
Thanks,
welcome. Glad to
thanks,
Thanks,
be
Mr.
thanks,
of
David.
thanks.
offer some wisdom, some
And
good
guys,
knowledge.
Peter is gonna be he'll come on, Peter. Peter, you were putting. I know I forward some traders to you. You were putting some traders together, right? For your for to do some capital management.
Yeah, I was looking to, work with a team, build a team, or just socialize with a team. Like people who are interested in doing evaluations, you'll learn a lot. You'll probably fail a couple times in the beginnings, but you get to play with other people's capital. You're trading paper money. So if you're interested in, um, you know, um, being professional, I recommend go through evaluation, and then you can reach out to David or me, and then we'll help you through it. And if you successfully pass, I mean, you get to play with a lot of real money, a lot of money, and then work as a team. Because working as a team, it's makes the analysis easier. You just basically share the workload.
Yeah, more eyes, right? More
Yeah,
eyes.
more
Yeah.
eyes. Yeah, I miss out a lot of money because I'm sleeping, or I have to run errands and stuff like that. So the team will be at at the wheel.
Yeah.
At the
And
helm.
that should be the goal, guys. That should be the goal, to get to the point where you manage some capital, right? It's I went through a phase where I did it, right? I And it's back then, when I did it years ago, these prop firms, you had to know someone, right? You had to know someone, and you had to be a decent trader to get in. There was no qualification. You had to know someone, get you into, and you had to literally go to, when I traded for the firm, you had to go to the office. It was downtown Orlando. Right
Mhm.
now, you can get this capital. I mean, there are different firms, but it's readily available,
Yeah,
and you can trade from home.
you
All
work at
right.
home.
Yeah, work at home. So the idea is to get to the point, build those skills. And Peter is a good example. All right. So when you guys are ready, right, and I'm gonna keep an eye on who's doing well. And Peter, yeah, we'll get you those traders, and you guys, go out there and do well. Do well. That's the goal. That's the goal, to get to the point where you guys are doing what Peter is doing. And we have a few traders that are trading with a prop firm. All right. But Peter is the one that has done really well. All right. Really, really well. So all right. So thanks, buddy. Thanks, Peter. Thank
All
you, buddy.
right.
Thanks. We went way over,
Pleasure.
so
It was
we
a pleasure.
appreciate you taking the time to talk to everyone. Okay. Thanks, buddy. Take care. Thanks, guys. Yo, take
All right.
care. Okay.
Bye,
Take care.
David.
Thanks, Mr.
All
David.
Bye,
right.
Thanks,
everyone.
Mr. Peter.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
have a good one.